On this episode of the Exactly How podcast and YouTube show, we uncover exactly how property owners and investors can save money by installing solar panels on their properties. See you soon, guys.
You're listening to the Exactly How podcast, where you'll hear the underground, closely guarded wealth building secrets of successful people around the globe. Discover exactly how to improve your mental, physical, and financial health. Feel better, make more money, live, give, and prosper in today's exciting, fast-paced world filled with opportunity for those who know exactly how.
Welcome to the Exactly How podcast and YouTube show, brought to you by Connected Investors. During this episode, you're going to discover exactly how to renovate your investment properties to be more energy efficient. For those of you who are new, my name is Sean Young, today's host and proud member of the Connected Investor community. Now, before I introduce you to our incredible next guest speaker today, I want to make a request that if at any point in this show you like what you're hearing, please give us a thumbs up or subscribe to the show so that you don't miss an episode. And make sure to look at the description of this episode, as we've packed it with thousands of dollars in free resources. Prior to his career in real estate, he worked in finance as an advisor. But all that changed when he realized that solar was the vehicle that made the most financial sense, while still making an impact on the world. I would describe our next guest as committed. I'd like to introduce you to the one, the only, Hayden Flores. Hayden, thanks for being a guest on today's show.
Thanks for having me on here, Sean. Looking forward to adding some value to your listeners here.
Absolutely. We've been looking forward to having you. Been looking forward to this interview all week. So Hayden, before we get started, can you tell the audience a little bit about where you're from and a little bit about your background?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was actually born in Toronto, Canada, grew up in Boston, Mass, and I've gone to high school, college in the Charlotte and Raleigh region. So out of college, started a couple entrepreneurial ventures before finding solar, which I've become completely committed to over the past couple of years.
Got it. So where are you based out now? You said you're based in the Charlotte area?
North Carolina.
Got it. You're not too far from me. I'm here in the Atlanta area, so I know that area pretty good. Nice area.
Oh, yeah. I spent some time down there for sure.
Absolutely. Now, guys, before we dive into exactly how to renovate your investment properties, be more energy efficient, Hayden, you contribute a lot of your success to your morning routine, your daily habits, and constantly challenging yourself. Why do you think this has played such a huge role in your success?
100%. So I'm a firm believer that if you show me your habits, I can show you your results. And I've spent the past 6 years refining my routine to figure out what gives me energy, but most importantly, what I can be consistent with. I used to go through high highs and low lows by trying to do too much. I tried to wake up at 4 a.m. every morning, but it only lasts a couple of weeks, right? So I'm a firm believer that if you lower the bar of what you demand for yourself, you can stay more consistent and it's more sustainable. So I've refined that routine over about 6 years, and I'm finally able to do it every day for the past about 3 years now. So
that makes a lot of sense. So basically, it's just like how businesses who are successful operate. They say, hey, let's get a system and let's stick to it. Let's make it an efficient system and let's just keep the process going. I like it.
How can you progress and refine it over time?
Absolutely. I love it. Now, guys, what makes the Exactly How Financial Freedom podcast and YouTube show unique is that every show comes with a detailed action plan. We pull the steps out of each show and create a blueprint on exactly how to implement what we're covering today. All you have to do is visit connectedinvestors.com/free to get the key takeaways, the free resources that Hayden has generously allowed us to give you guys today. Plus, you're going to get our free training right now. All you have to do is text the word exactly to 910-600-0630 to see for yourself. Now, guys, this is exactly how I make my money. You can find properties in any town for pennies on the dollar with this software that I use each and every single day, guys. Now, as millions of people know, the Connected Investors, it is a social network of real estate investors, and it's a marketplace for investment properties. In the description of this video, I've included a link to this episode's forum discussion. So Hayden, let's dive into the steps to renovating investment properties to be more efficient. Now, before the show, we broke it down into 3 steps: contacting a consultant to diagnose energy needs, design a system, and go through the application process. Now, Hayden, can you break down step 1 for us, contacting a consultant to diagnose energy needs?
Yep, absolutely. So most homes can definitely be more energy efficiency dependent on their smart devices, smart thermostats, LEDs, maybe insulation in an attic. Oftentimes, a lot of this equipment can actually be subsidized by the federal or state governments. So, what you want to do is contact a consultant, figure out some ways where you might be able to be more energy efficient, as well as learn a little bit more about the incentives and subsidies for getting a lot of that technology.
Okay, okay. Well, that brings us into step two, which is designing a system.
Yep, absolutely. So we first start off by looking at an electric bill that tells us how much energy a home or property uses. From there, we can plug that into our system and determine how many solar panels a property might need if the house is a good fit for solar. And then once we have that system designed, we'll tell you exactly how much energy it's going to produce and how much money they're going to save. And if it's a good fit, then we move on to step three.
So let me ask you, before we go on to step three, when it's designing a system, can any new can any new project be a potential solar energy efficient home?
That's a great question. California actually passed a law that every newly built home has to have solar on the roof. So it's happening, but it's very state based, right? So depending on the state you're in, there's certain policies in place that require a utility company to get more solar on the grid. If you're in a great area, like for example, South Carolina or Illinois, right, the subsidies are just massive for installing solar. But there's a couple requirements. One, you have to have a properly facing roof, right? So we're in the northern hemisphere, obviously, right? The sun sets in the east, or sets in the west, rises in the east, right? So south gets sun all day long. North doesn't get too much sun. So if a house is facing south, it's ideal for solar. East and west will work, but we typically don't put solar on the north side of the roof. On top of that, your roof has to have about 10 years of life left in order to get solar installed, because we do put warranties on the roof, and we won't put solar on an iffy roof, right? Outside of that, it can't be too shaded, right? There can't be a lot of tall trees or buildings on each side of the house. It has to be able to get enough sun. So those are three of the primary reasons a house would not qualify.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks for breaking that down for us. Now, the next step will be the third step, which is going through the application process.
Sure. So once we decide how much money you're going to save, we help you apply with the town for building permits. We help you apply with the utility company and with the installer and financiers. And then after that, we go out and get a site survey of the home. We take our pictures, make sure the home will qualify. Then we send you a final design, show you exactly what the system will look like, exactly how much energy it's going to produce. From there, we send you a final design, you sign off on it, we submit for permits. Once the building permits are approved, we get you installed. And it typically only takes a day to actually put the solar panels on the roof. And then after that, the utility company comes out, inspects it, makes sure it's up to code, and actually turns the system on so you can produce your own power and stop relying on the monopoly.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. So, from a cost perspective, what do you think the differences would be between someone who traditionally, installs a traditional energy setup versus doing, the setup that you've suggested?
So when people ask an ROI, it's always a funny question because with solar, we do everything at $0 out of pocket, right? So you're not paying a dollar to install solar on your home. You're simply financing it anywhere from 10 years to 25 years at a 2.99% rate. So very, very cheap money in today's market, right? So what happens is just instead of paying an electric bill, we get rid of that, and you now pay a monthly financing bill for your solar panels. Now, the beauty of it is just like us being in the real estate realm, right? We know the value of owning something and having an asset versus a liability and an expense, right? It's always better to own versus rent, right? At least most of the time.
Sure.
So it's the same thing with your power bill. You've been renting your power from the utility company your entire lives. Stop paying the monopoly and just redirect that money towards equity into an asset, so where you're paying off your solar panels every month rather than paying off their power plant.
And you're gonna, like you say, at the end of it, you'll own it. You'll never own a portion of the energy company or electric company. So yeah, exactly. I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Hayden, I really appreciate you breaking that down for us. And guys, as a reminder, if at any point in the show you like what you're hearing, please make sure that you give us a thumbs up or subscribe to this show so that you don't miss an episode. I mean, it's your engagement that keeps us doing this show for absolutely nothing at all, for free. Now, Hayden, I really think that our audience is going to enjoy all this information that you're sharing with us today. I mean, it's a lot of great information. And I think that, someone who, like you say, who's thinking of from an investment standpoint, it's always good to hear about ways that you can expand your investments right from the beginning. So this is like someone say someone wants to, start a bunch of projects. They can implement this type of process into those processes. And if I'm not mistaken, someone's got to pay some form of electricity. So you can still leverage that. I think with like your rents and, charging, fees on that to your tenants. Am I right in that? Or am I kind of thinking a little too out there?
No, you hit the nail on the head. And that's why some of my favorite clients are landlords. It's simply because instead of that property paying an electric bill, it just has a lower bill going towards that landlord's solar panels. So if your tenants are paying $100 in electricity, it's super simple. You get them away from the electric company, and instead they'll have roughly a $70 or $80 bill going towards your system. So instead of them wasting $100, they're going to save 20 to 30 bucks a month, and you're going to build 70 to $80 worth of equity in the home each month. So they're already paying off your mortgage. They might as well pay off your electric bill too.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. So Hayden, let me ask you, what do you think your life would be like if you never started, several small businesses within the solar realm and you're still working as a finance advisor?
To be honest, I can't really see myself doing anything other than what I do now. As a millennial, I've always wanted to make my impact on the world and the environment, right? And solar is really the one vehicle I found through all of my past, small successes and failures. I've been led to solar, which is, in my opinion, just the perfect vehicle. Just saving property owners tens of thousands of dollars, making an incredible impact on the environment. It's just, to me, the perfect vehicle. So I'm thankful for my past failures because I've learned lessons along the way, and it's turned me into who I am today.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it, man. You've got a lot of great principles and, a lot of great information. I've really enjoyed what you've shared with us thus far. Now, this brings us to the rapid fire session of our show, Hayden, where it's basically, I'm going to ask you a few questions and you're going to give me the first answer that comes to mind.
Let's do it.
Got it. On a scale from 1 to 10, how strict were your parents?
As the only child, I'd say a 7.
Okay. And get up early or stay up late?
I'm a night owl. I have trouble waking up too early. I stay up pretty late.
Yeah, I can hear you there. I'm the same way. How many hours of sleep do you think you get per night?
Anywhere from, I'd say, 6 to 8.
Okay. What is your favorite or last book read?
I definitely can't pick a single favorite, but top 3 would have to be the Bible, Think and Grow Rich, and The Alchemist.
Great books, all 3 great books. Now, if you could be any superhero, Hayden, who would you be?
Superman, simple, untouchable.
Got it, good one, good one. Something everyone should do less of.
Complaining or judging others.
Okay, something that everyone should do more of.
Focus on their habits and routine, something they can do 365 days a year.
I love it, I love it. Controlling your own self, you can control that.
That's right.
Bitcoin, bang or bust?
I'm going to say bang.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's Ray Dalio that says the currency changes every 70 years, and it's about that time, right? So I think it's just going to make sense with the way the world is turning.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, will people live on Mars in your lifetime?
I sure hope so. And I hope to maybe have a vacation house there, man. Elon Musk is one of my personal heroes, so I'm excited to see what he's doing. But we'll be on Mars in the next 70 years.
Okay, gotcha. Well, Hayden, you have been an awesome guest today. I really appreciate everything that you've shared thus far. Is there anything that you think our audience needs to hear or needs to take away that maybe we didn't cover or go in depth with that, is important for their success in that solar energy realm?
Of course, I will say that there is billions of dollars spent in propaganda, making people think a lot of misconceptions in solar, that it's too expensive, that it's a futuristic technology, that it's going to harm the roof, all misconceptions, right? I highly encourage everyone to at least get free estimates on their home to see if solar is a good fit, because if you have a good house for it, financially, it is an absolute no-brainer. You just got to see your numbers so you can make an educated decision.
I mean, it sounds like a no-brainer. I'm excited to hear about this, and I'm looking forward to implementing it in a future project myself. So, absolutely, I definitely thank you, Hayden. And guys, you all made it to the end of the show. And like they say, most people never start what they finish. So count your guys as being special. Now, if you got any value out of the show today, please share this with a friend or share it on your Facebook page. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and send us topics that you want to learn more about. And like I said earlier, guys, nearly 1 million people use the Connected Investors social network and marketplace to connect. In the description of this episode, I've included a link to the episode's forum discussion. All you have to do is tap that link, ask me and other pros questions, and see what other investors are saying about this particular episode. So guys, until the next time, you can catch me on the inside of Connected Investors. See you then.
The Connected Investors app connects you with investors, notifies you of available properties, helps locate cash buyers, and secure private funding to close deals. Set up in seconds to become a member of the Connected Investors social network. Now you can scroll through your main feed to find cash buyers, see investment properties not available to the general public, and network with investors by adding your own comments to a thread to keep the conversation going. The Control Center is your connection to add properties to sell, start new discussions, connect with local investors, and even find private funding. The Notifications tab will keep you alerted to new investment properties and offers. You'll also find new friend requests to connect directly with the community to build your network. From the property marketplace, you'll be able to find, favorite, and make offers on investment properties. Download Connected Investors today to find, figure, fund, and flip investment properties on the go.